Hi, this is Theo from electrofx.com and welcome to this first video in the free video course series. In this video I'm just going to run through your platform setup, show you basically what I've shown you in the book, but it's much easier to do it here in spoken word and video. So this is the page I recommended to grab your Metatrader, because you can actually download Metatrader without registering, and most places will require you to register, so I find this to be easier. Plus it is a broker that I use, so we're just going to keep the file. Now if you're using a different browser, it's going to obviously save differently, whatever you're used to, but once you've got the file, you're going to run the setup, and when you run the setup, this window will show up and we'll go through and we get to this window. And if you're going to install more than one Metatrader, this is where you want to change the destination folder and what have you, so that it remains a separate entity. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call it video test. I'm going to do the same for the program group. You can have a desktop shortcut and the launch program after successful installation. It's up to you what you do there. I click next. It's going to make sure it's the latest version of Metatrader, and once it is, it's going to install and that'll be done. So I'm just going to wait as it launches. Okay, here we go. Bring that over. Just put it on our screen here. So this is Metatrader. When it first launches for you, it's going to have this login window open. So we just cancel that for now and open an account. This is where you can fill in real information or not, depending if you just want to give it a shot, just test run. I've got some information ready to go here to move along nice and fast. Click OK, just choose the demo server, and that's that. We're now logged into a demo account. Every time you shut down Metatrader and restart Metatrader, it's going to log into this account, unless you actually go here physically and open a new account or log into a different one. Alright, so that's nice and simple. We're logged in, and the first thing I like to do when the Metatrader is installed is just tidy a couple of bits up here. I'm going to move that over there and move that up there, just so it's on one line. Tiny bit more room, and if it doesn't quite fit because you have a smaller screen, there's a few items you can get rid of there just by customizing. That's right click and customize to do that. Now we do need some files in this Metatrader, and so I'm going to close it down and we're going to put the files in there. Here we are on the ElectroFX free members page. I've got two options for you. You can download a zip file and do this manually, or I have created a self-installer for you. I'm going to download both and we'll run through them real quick. Okay, so the zip file's quite straightforward, depending on what kind of extraction software you're going to be using. This is WinRAR, for example. It loads up. I can extract these directly to the Metatrader, which I'll do in a second. I can extract them to my desktop and then copy paste them into the right folder, which is what I've shown you to do in the ebook. But you can also just extract and go right to the folder. I've got quite a few Metatraders here. This is the video test one. I can just throw that in there and that's it, it's done. The other option is to run this exe file, which is like a program. If you have any antivirus software, it may ask you, that if this is okay or not. It could be a suspicious program. There's nothing wrong with it, I can assure you. Once you get through and you've started the installer, we're going to move along. I have other Metatraders running, so it's just telling me to close them, which I don't need to do. The various agreements, all basic stuff. These are all the Metatraders I have installed. I certainly don't want to install it to all of them right now. and I'm just going to choose our video test one, which is that one right there. I click next, I click next again, and once again it's completely done. It's that simple, and I can run the Metatrader now at the end. Okay, here is the Metatrader. We've now logged in, and when I open up the scripts, I'm going to close this market watch part. When I open up the scripts with this little button here, I can see that everything's installed correctly. There's the expert advisors in there also, and then there's some indicators in here also. So what we want to do is set up some hotkeys, and I can right click on any one of them that you like and choose set hotkey, and I like to have Control B for buying, Control R for reversing, Control A to add a stop loss and take profit, which is not usually necessary. I'll go over when and why. Control S to sell, and Control E to exit, which will only exit the pair that you're executing the script. Okay, so I do have these EAs, which you can just scroll up a bit. You'll find these EAs also, and they're Control P for the pending order one, and I got Control M to manage your stop loss and take profit. And those are the tools that that really all you need to trade. So that's all I have to set up in that part. Once that's done, I can close that part of the Metatrader. I can actually close all of these off. I don't need any of these. I'm going to start from scratch. First thing I want to do is to switch on expert advisors right here. There'll be a little green instead of red icon there, and we go to tools, options, and we go to expert advisors, and the simple way to do this is to check everything on the left and uncheck everything on the right. This email section here is going to be very useful if you want to take advantage of the email alerts that these tools can send out. You will have to enable it, and you're going to need an SMTP server and a login and a password, and it's a little beyond the scope because there are many ways to do it. If it doesn't make sense to you, then perhaps talk about it in the forum and we'll clear that up in there. But this is what you need to fill in to be able to receive email alerts. For the charts, this is the standard. It's reasonable. You don't really have to change that, and you can just click OK and be done with all of the setup elements. I'm going to open up a pound dollar, for example. Whenever you open a new chart, it's automatically on the H1, so I'm going to put it to the H4, double click it. Now it's full screen, and we'll load the ATM free template, and this is obviously what you see in the free ebook. So now you've got everything is set up correctly. You have your chart the way that it is in the ebook, and we're just going to run through the tools real quick so you understand them. First of all, probably one of the most useful tools because of the style of trading would be the pending order EA. So if I click Control P, the pending order EA pops up, and you can see these various inputs, and this is where you choose your lot size. By default, everything's set to 0.1. You can have the alert email or a pop-up box email within Metatrader, which will just ring a bell kind of thing. The alert email is really the way to go, but you have to set up your email in the tools options area that we just looked at. So I'm going to leave everything to default. The pending pips is 3, which means, well, I'll show you what it means. The stop loss and take profit are just by default going to be 100 each because we're going to move them after. So if I put that on the chart, on the top right corner, you can see pending order EA with a happy face, so we know everything's good there. And what this means now is that I can place a line here above price, and I can call it a P buy. It will automatically turn blue, so it's been recognized, and up in the top right it's going to tell you that there's a P buy. But the beauty is we can also place an X buy, which I'm going to do right here, and that will also change color as soon as we have a tick. There we go. So what this is for is if you have a candle pattern that you wish to trade, obviously you're trading the break of it, and so if we wanted to trade the break of the specific candle in question, we'd put this P buy just above it, knowing that breaking it by 3 pips is going to enter the trade. So depending how far away you put it is really how you're going to determine your true buffer, and that's going to be up to you if you put it right snug or give it a little space. The X buy means that you don't have to sit here anymore and watch, because you're going to get an email alert or a pop-up alert depending on what you chose in those inputs. And this simply means that if price goes the other way and doesn't trigger your trade, then the trade will be cancelled. So this is the point at which you are now not you do not have the evidence anymore, because it's something different has happened. And so if you have an indecision candle that you wanted to trade a buy of in this example, then the P buy would go just above that indecision candle. You'd place the X buy below it, because if it goes the other way, you don't want to be away from your charts and have that left on there is the thought. Alright, so keep things nice and clean. If I just drag this X buy up into it and we'll let it touch it, there we go, see, they both delete. Alright. If price went the other way and it crossed our P buy, then the trade would enter with a 100 pip stop loss, 100 pip take profit, and we would then proceed to manage. But first let's just enter with a regular script so we can show you that at the same time here. These scripts will just instantly buy and sell. They're Control B, Control S as we set up. Also 100 pip stop loss and take profit. If I click OK, you can see the trade enter immediately with the 100 pip stop loss, the 100 pip take profit. And we would then proceed to make sure we've removed the pending order EA. I'm going to Control M. We have our stop loss management EA. So as you can see, the EA has drawn a line for you where you entered. It's got the take profit and the stop loss. It's telling you that they're 100 pips each. This number is the specific order number because it can actually manage multiple orders at once. So for example, if I also do Control S and I enter an instant sell, as you can see, now we have a whole bunch of these and we know which is which because of those numbers there. Alright, there we go. Stop loss for the sell, stop loss for the buy, and so on and so forth. Now you obviously wouldn't be buying and selling at the same time, you don't need to do that, but you might be adding positions into your trade, and so you'd be able to control each position individually if you so chose to do so. So I'm going to hit Control E now just so you can see how everything disappears, and then we'll click Control B and we'll just enter one again and the stop loss tool picks it up. So now this is how we're going to judge our risk reward. You know, let's say we entered there and you want your stop loss here, then you know that your reward is going to be 129.9 pips and your risk is 84.4, so that's always mapped out. Wherever you move these, it's going to update for you, so you can continuously, every time you have a trade, you're going to have this ability to judge your risk reward during the trade. Obviously you want to judge that before you enter, but once you're in, this is just an easy way to keep track of it and understand what your risk and your reward is mapped out as. Okay, so that's really that. We also have the reverse script. I'm just going to remove that. We have our buy. I'm going to click Control R. It's going to exit the buy and enter a sell, as you can see. But this particular script has not entered a stop loss for you. And so that's why we have the Control A, because now we can just have a stop loss. Control A, as you can see, stop loss and take profit have appeared. So also, perhaps you entered with the script and for whatever reason, due to your connection, or it doesn't matter what the reason, if you don't see a stop loss and take profit, you can hit Control A and have one whenever you like. Alright, and that's your backup. Then we could hit Control M again, and back you are. Stop loss, take profit control is yours once more. We got the pending order EA, you got the stop loss and take profit management, you got instant buy, instant sell, instant reverse, you got the instant stop loss and take profit in case you don't see a stop loss and take profit appearing, the instant exit, which will exit everything on the one pair. I click Control E and we're out. This combination of scripts and tools is all you need really to get started. Now there's a lot more advanced stuff in my other levels of membership, but this is the basic set of tools that you need to do this reasonably easily. Everything has a sort of base of 100 pip stop loss, 100 pip take profit when you're just getting in, because you're about to adjust it after anyway, and the point is that it doesn't matter. We don't want it too close though, so you have plenty of time to come along and move those about. Okay, that wraps up this video on the platform setup. If you have any questions about any of these tools or the Metatrader platform setup, don't forget to just come and use the forum.